Alrighty, so welcome back to the Grandmasters League round 5 of 7, and this is set 3 for the week between DauT and Ming. Game 1 right here between DauT and Ming. DauT in blue off to the right of the map playing as Mayans. His opponent Ming in red playing as Mayans. Also, the map is Yucatan, and this is quite an interesting Yucatan map actually. Usually the splodges of water are a lot more common and they run a lot more through the centre of the map, but this seems very open, and at first glance it almost looks like Arabia. The only difference, of course, being there is a lot more resources on the map, and there's obviously turkeys instead of turkeys instead of chickens, turkeys instead of sheep. Yucatan's great. There's lots of boar around. There should be 3 boar, and there's actually 4 right close by for DauT over here. Plenty of deer as well, and it's basically a very high resource map. He's even got shorefish at the back here, which could be a nice little opportunity for him to gather some extra food early in the game. We'll see how that goes for him. And obviously double berry bush as well, so it's a very resource intense map. Let's have a look at DauT's map a little bit more in depth. He does have gold at the very back, which is quite good for him. It does mean that this is going to be much safer for him to gather, and it should be fairly easy if he blocks that gap off there and maybe does a slight wall towards this berry bush. It should be very easy for him to protect this back gold. He's also got gold over to the left of his map, so you might want to play this slightly more aggressively, as you will want to gain control of these if the game does turn to a late game or a long game, as these are quite far out from his base. Ming, well, he also has the double berry bush, of course. He also does have a very large deer patch. He's also got some shorefish down here, but not quite as many as DauT, and of course extra boar. There's 2 right there, and there is 1 on the hill over here, so he has 3. And there might be some more scattered around, but it does seem like DauT actually has got an extra boar, which is kind of interesting. His gold, though, again, back gold for him. Extremely easy to keep this safe. That is a very nice spot for gold there. He should have no trouble whatsoever keeping DauT out and keeping his gold nice and safe there. He also has a gold over to the right of his base, so it's kind of like a little bit of a mirror. Obviously, DauT's gold being on the left, Ming's gold being on the right, and Ming is, well, Good Boy is also his most famous name, I think. Is quite well known for being one of those players who likes to forward, and if we see a forward out of Ming today, that could be really cool. It's something that you don't often see, and especially at such high level of tournaments, it's not so often that you see players forwarding, because it's considered quite a risky move, and not something that players want to take such a big risk on, as it could cost them a game. But it's also something that, although being high risk, could offer high reward, and if Ming manages to take map control, he should have no problem securing these golds. We'll see how it goes. And it looks like DauT going to start luring his boar in there, those 2 on the front, and if he finds his other 2, which are, I've lost them again, he has got 4, I'm sure of it. Yeah, these 2 down here, they might be a little bit far away actually. They are quite a long way from his TC, and that is going to be quite a long lure for him to do. However, he does have the eagle, so he could lure one of these boar with his eagle warrior. And I'm just keeping an eye on this villager, seeing where she is going to go. Is she going to go and take one of these boar over here? Or is she going for a little bit of a wonder? Or is she just going to mill these yeah, looks like she's going to mill these deer. These deer kind of in a bit of an awkward situation, and actually there's DauT's third boar right there. I didn't even notice that. I don't know if he's noticed that, and no, he might not have seen it, but his third boar hiding in the trees there. But if you have a look, his map is actually a little bit weird, because he's got to send villagers all the way around this massive wood patch to get to this mill. But this massive wood patch is also providing a lot of protection on the right hand side of his base, so DauT probably going to be a little bit happy with that. Ming's starting to do a bit of a wall off, so he might not be playing this so aggressively after all, but he too will have a very easy wall off. He's got this little choke point here, he's got the choke point here that he's already walling up, and he's got this left side here which is open, but other than that he is going to be fully walled really easily in this map, and both of them in a similar situation with that regard. Ming, though, now throwing down a barracks, and we could see a nice fast drush from him, and with DauT not really walling off so much already, he could actually get in there, because if we consider DauT's right left hand side is fairly open, Ming could quite easily bring a drush in there, as DauT certainly has the harder map to wall in this situation. So Ming going up with his barracks right now. DauT of course sees it, and he knows exactly what Ming is up to, and probably going to build a barracks right here of his own as well, as he's bringing that villager over now, and there it goes. barracks straight up, and he's going to try and wall the front of his base. And after this front of this base is walled, Ming cannot get round the right hand side unless he goes all the way around the back. But again, one palisade here will easily do the job, and I think DauT now, seeing this boar, will be able to find it pretty easily, and he's probably just taking these boar at the front to prevent Ming from laming. But though I don't often see Ming laming, so it's not something perhaps we would expect from him. Starting to gather a little bit of extra gold as well. He's taken 8, which is a rather weird number to take. He's going to have to take a little bit more, and he's going to go for a 5 militia drush, I think, here, and that could work out very well for him. Starting to take deer as well, and Yucatan is a great map for drushing, because obviously you do have those extra resources, the third boar, and it just make it a little bit easier to get that extra food income that you need to still do a fast castle or even a fast feudal age behind it. So likely to see the drush coming from Ming anytime now. Sometimes we even see players drush but not actually go aggressive with it and just play it defensively. We'll have to see. But the last time we saw a Yucatan game, it was between Chris and the Viper, and because Viper had managed to wall so early, Chris's drush was pretty much ineffective, and it gave the Viper a little bit of an edge. But that of course was with Mongols. This is Mayans, and it is slightly different. 3 militia coming out for Ming, actually, not 4, but he did gather another bit of gold, so no, he's not actually going to add 4, he's just going to go with 3, and he'll meet his Eagle Warrior halfway and just try and see what he can do. DauT with 3 militia of his own as well. And it looks like DauT is going to be walled back here, and it's looking pretty unlikely that Ming's going to get into his base. However, DauT does have these villagers gathering deer over on this side, and that could work out really well for him if he gets a kill. But it's all about if he can get a kill or not, and at the moment it looks like they're going to engage head on, and Ming is certainly well, is he going to be in an advantage? No, he's not. He's just losing a couple of his militia there. It looks like he's going to be losing another one as well, and DauT should be able to defend this pretty easily right now. It's 2 militia versus 1 Eagle Warrior remaining, and Ming is going to have to run away with his Eagle there. DauT managing to defend that, engaging his Eagle Warrior very nicely, and managing to push Ming away, saving his villagers, which is, of course, more important than losing a couple of militia at this stage of the game. So pretty nicely done by DauT, managing to push Ming away. The only downside is he did lose his Eagle Warrior. He did get it in there, which enabled him to win the drush, but now he's not going to have any scouting with his Eagle, but he can use his militia to scout, of course, and he might even be able to catch Ming's Eagle here if he just stops still like he is doing. But no, he's just going to walk straight past and try and scout out Ming's base. And because they've done the drush, it could be very likely that we see a fast castle behind it. Now, Ming just going up to feudal age on 28. DauT going up on 30, it seems. He's still making another villager, so it's likely that he's going to go up on 31 population, which could mean a very fast castle out of DauT. And if he goes up right now, he could actually go and do a very fast castle, and he should be able to, if he can just wall himself in, keep himself safe from any pressure that Ming might decide to put on during the feudal age. And DauT coming forwards, trying to pick off that Eagle Warrior right there, and so close. 6 HP left on that one, and I think it's probably going to make it back to the town centre. Ming, though, is going to be up to the feudal age first. We'll see what he's able to do once he reaches feudal. It's likely that he will go for a fast castle. He's moved 3 or 4 villagers over to gold even, and he'll probably add in some archers along the way as well, and those archers will allow him to take some map control if he decides to push out of his base. But at the moment he's actually walling one of these golds outside of his base, which is kind of interesting. DauT too starting to wall on the left hand side. He's move this village out over here to start walling this, and it's going to be a big wall, but if he can just keep himself safe while he goes up to castle, then he should be absolutely fine. Ming here likely to be able to do a decent time for the feudal age. He's still got villagers gathering the deer over here, and that is going to allow him to get that extra food income that he needs to go up to the castle age. He's also going to be able to build the blacksmith or even archery range and blacksmith straight away. And he should now be completely walled off with that blacksmith in place there, and I don't think DauT is going to be able to do any feudal age pressure at all. That's not really surprising, because he too is likely to be going straight for the fast castle. Up to the feudal age he goes. 800 food, 200 gold already. He just needs his 2 feudal age buildings, and he will be up as well. Blacksmith for him right there, and we'll probably see an archery range coming along somewhere as well. Oh, it's a market. Interesting, he's actually going for a market at the back instead of an archery range. So I'm going to speed things on up. It looks like Ming going to be up to castle a little bit behind DauT here, which is interesting because DauT, of course, going up to feudal later, but he is going to be going up to castle faster because of that. Up to castle he goes right now, and Ming going to be a little bit further behind as he's struggling a little bit to get in that extra bit of food. He should be able to do that just now with these deer as the villagers bring in the food, and he's up to castle in 15 minutes, bang on. 2 archery ranges coming out for him. And it doesn't look like it's actually walled properly, so he's going to want to make sure that this is fully walled. Of course, checking that he's walled is really important. And DauT even adding in a spearman here, which is kind of interesting, managing to absolutely do nothing with that. But Ming now completely walled, I think, starting to add in those archers, and we could see crossbowmen straight away from him. Now we need to have a look at where his stone is. This stone here going to be completely safe for the time being, because Ming, of course, being completely walled, should be able to keep this one safe. He's also got stone back here, which too is completely walled, so Ming's stone fairly nicely protected, and he's just going to be going for archery range and then 2 TCs, I think, once he gets up to castle. DauT now getting very defensive. A double palisade on this side. That is very, very defensive indeed, and he doesn't want Ming busting his walls at all, because of course that right hand side is, or left hand side even, is a little bit exposed, and it's a very big wall off, so he needs time to get over there if Ming does decide to try and bust down his walls. One interesting thing from DauT though is that he's not actually made an archery range yet. He's not got any military production for the time being, and he could just be going for a very large boom once he reaches castle. He could try and put a castle down pretty quickly, but Ming already with archers out on the field, and he's already got 2 archery ranges out. He's moving out with his archers right now, and he's going to be trying to find a little hole in DauT's defences, and I think that is why DauT has gone for the double wall, just to prevent Ming from getting in. Doesn't look like Ming is going to be able to reach over here to get to the villagers gathering wood. Maybe he could reach if he was here, but DauT's still with that double palisade, and that's kind of interesting that he's done that. I'm not really sure why, but DauT straight down with a siege workshop, and still with no archery ranges at all, but the siege workshop going down, and he's going to be getting out a mangonel pretty quickly here. And of course, one mangonel can absolutely clear up against archers and such, and he's probably going to be playing this quite defensively from what I can see. I'm not sure what research has just got completed there, but without any archers on the field, he might not be going for archers straight away at all. He might not be going for fletching at all, and just throwing down 2 TCs straight away at the back, 1 on gold, 1 on wood. And they are going to be up in just a moment, and I think maybe he's seen Ming's play against DauT in Regicide Fortress, the mine wars that we saw there, and he knows that Ming is quite good at booming, and Ming does always go for 3 or even 4 TCs, so that could work out if he counter booms and actually goes for a larger economy. We'll have to see if he manages to pull it off, because Ming now starting to harass this wood camp a little bit with his crossbowmen, but I don't think he's going to be able to do all that much. I mean, DauT is pretty quick on his toes. He can easily move villagers away, and now with this TC on this wood back here, he should be absolutely fine at taking wood, and still no archery ranges at all. We could see a fast Imperial from DauT perhaps. I'm not really sure where he's going with this. It's a very uncharacteristic kind of style of play. And now Ming obviously seeing that mangonel right there, may add a mangonel of his own. He may just decide to retreat a little bit and just give in and say, you know what, DauT is fully walled, I'm going to retreat back and work on my economy a little bit. But Ming now just getting his 3rd TC up. That makes 3 for him. DauT's just on 3 as well. I'm going to speed things up because I think it's going to be a little while before we actually see much out of DauT here. He is playing this extremely cautiously, and it's kind of interesting to me because I usually see DauT as quite an aggressive player, but we'll see. It looks like he's going to go for a fairly fast Imperial, making a lot of farms already. and he's going to be adding a lot of farms in, I think, as well. Still not taking any stone, I don't think. No, he actually just bought another TC. He actually just spent his gold on buying a new TC, and that is going to allow him to get 4 TC boom going on, and that might be a little bit more than Ming is going to do. We've seen in Regicide Fortress how that extra town centre can help in the late game. Well, Ming also going for 4 TCs, and I think DauT's meta game here is starting to pay off, and he's watched these recorded games from Ming. He's seen his style. Obviously Ming playing quite defensively, booming with 4 town centres, and then going for the castles and the plumed archers once he gets to the Imperial Age. Well, it looks like DauT is going to try and do an exact counter to that with 4 TCs, something that Dogao did not learn to do in his Regicide Fortress games. And DauT now, obviously not having created any crossbowmen, is going to be in a slight advantage. Although, actually no, saying that, he did make a couple of mangonels back here, which did cost quite a lot. But if you can make effective trades with the mangonels and the crossbows, you should be okay. But Ming now, of course, with the map control, he is going to be starting to take the map control. He's got plenty of archers or crossbowmen in the centre. He can see exactly what DauT's doing. And now it's kind of a race to the Imperial Age. Who is going to reach the Imperial Age first? DauT with a little bit more population, and considering he's got less military, does mean he's got a bigger economy at the moment, getting that 4th town centre up a little bit earlier, and starting a huge boom, which I'm going to speed on through because we've seen booming a million times before. He's just going to be adding in loads of farms here and trying to make it up to the Imperial Age in a very nice time, not letting these town centres get idle, and that's the really important thing. Ming doing a very similar thing on his side of the map, even adding some stone walls here. I think he wants to secure this gold mine when he can. University going down, getting ready for ballistics, and plenty of farms coming down as well for him. Siege workshops being added on, and we're going to see rams, plums from both of them. It's kind of a bit predictable, but because Ming now even does have the map control, he does have these crossbowmen in the centre, and he knows DauT is stuck inside of his base. Ming is actually starting to take DauT's relics, and that's going to help him out massively. He doesn't know about this one in the corner, but he does know about this one over here. Oh no, wow. so close here. He almost knew that one was there. But he does have a couple in his base as well. I think he's got this one right here. He's moving this one over from him, from DauT even, and he should be able to secure a couple of relics here, so that's going to help him out in the long run. But DauT now with 2 castles down already, and I think going up to the Imperial Age. Yes, he is. So is Ming, but DauT is going to be up with the 2 castles very early on. And I'm not actually seeing any castles from Ming just yet, so that's a little bit worrying, because you know how important it is for players to get their castles down as quickly as they can in these games. And actually there's the 3rd relic for Ming right there. He's got his 3rd relic right in front of his base, so he should be able to take 3 relics here. But DauT looking to get super aggressive already, moving out with his 2nd castle, and once he reaches Imperial Age we'll probably see trebuchets coming straight out as well. Upgrade wise, he's going to be upgrading armor on these guys, and bodkin arrow as well. Bodkin arrow just about to complete. Archer armor going to be on the way, and looks like DauT is just going to be leapfrogging forwards with his villager, regaining map control now with these plumed archers and the mangonels. And Ming, of course, stone walling, but DauT could easily get through the stone walls. Oh, a nice hit with the mangonels, taking out half of Ming's army. And Ming, of course, going to be forced to retreat now, assuming, I think he's probably going to think he's going to reach Imperial first, as he did a 4 TC boom. But DauT, also going for 4 TCs, is going to shock him here, I think, and go forwards with another castle. Imperial Age is about to hit for him. And now DauT is looking in a great position with 3 castles already out, leapfrogged across the map, and coming out with rams as well. Looks like he's going to be taking out this stone wall pretty quickly. An Imperial Age for him also. University upgrades probably going to be on the way pretty shortly. I'm just waiting to see what upgrades he's going for. Bracer straight away, of course. Archery range will probably see Thumb Ring if he's not already got it. Chemistry straight away at the University. And DauT is going to have some pretty strong plumed archers very shortly. Trebuchets coming out as well. Going to be really getting aggressive from the early stages. And it looks like Ming is kind of being played at his own game here, because this is obviously Ming's kind of trademark strategy from what we saw in the Regicide Regicide Fortress games. He's playing this one pretty defensively now. He's going to have to make sure he gets some castles out, but I'm concerned because Ming only has one castle. His second castle is just going up, but DauT already on the 3. He's going to have plenty of trebuchets out. He's going to have plenty of plumed archers out, and he's even starting production of rams as well. Capture ram in the research right now, and more siege workshops going down. He can almost afford his 4th castle. Trebuchets still coming forwards, and it looks like he's just going to bust straight out of his base and try and take down the castles from Ming so quickly. Ming, though, having to play this defensively now, is going to be making skirmishes, elite skirmishes on the way out, and that should help him. Pardon me. That should help him out massively. As long as they do not get caught out by the mangonels, the skirmishes should help him against the plumed archers. But once plumed archers get massed up enough, even skirmishers find it a little bit challenging to deal with them. And it looks like Ming trying to get more castles down, but he's only on the 2 right now. And this one is looking in peril as 3 trebuchets come forwards from DauT. And Ming is certainly not looking in the best of positions right now as the 4th castle from DauT is being built. And Ming is struggling to keep his 2nd alive. The 3rd one going down in the back, but it's never really good, it seems, to be playing defensively on Regicide Fortress, not Regicide Fortress, on Mayan Wars even. It feels like Regicide Fortress, but it's not always the best to be playing defensively on Mayan Wars, because the aggressor, the person who reaches Imperial first, is often the one to manage to gain that momentum and keep the momentum and then bring it on through. This castle likely to go down for Ming now, and it's going to be 4 castles versus 2, so obviously the plumed archer is going to go massively in favour of DauT very shortly, who is almost at population cap. It is getting very close, and bringing in the capture rams as well right now to deal with the trebuchets. Siege ram being researched as well, and this is almost textbook from DauT. I can't see how he's made any mistakes here whatsoever, busting out of his base at just the right time, and the siege rams coming in to take out the trebuchet right now. But Ming doing the clever thing, the thing that we don't always see these players doing, adding in the elite skirmishers, and that might just save the day for him. As long as they don't get flattened by the mangonels, the elite skirmishers here could actually help him out massively in the long run. But there is no doubt at this stage of the game that DauT is indeed in the lead, and wow, I'm just a poet and I do not know it. But deploying these 4 trebuchets on the right here, he might be going to take down this siege workshop. Yes, he is. He's going to prevent Ming from making rams out here, and that's going to be really important for him, because he does not want to be caught off guard by some unexpected rams taking out his trebuchets. And there we go, the mangonel is going to be able to get some big hits on the skirmishers here, and even the plumed archers. There's just so many of them that this amount of skirmishers is not going to be a big enough deal. And DauT now, of course, going to have to deal with the capture rams on the right side. Doesn't want to lose these trebuchets, they're an expensive unit. But Ming here, hugging the hill a little bit as well, trying to gain the hill advantage. Oh, nice little attack with the trebuchets on the skirmishers there, and that should flatten quite a few units. Very nicely done indeed. And bringing the rams in to absorb that arrow fire should be able to keep his plumes safe. And it looks like Ming going completely the wrong direction here. He's backed into a little corner, and in come the mangonels. The mangonels could flatten this army if they get some big hits on. Ming gonna have to be so careful. He's in the worst position possible. So many units getting flattened right there, and DauT bypassing his whole army, running into his base with the plumed archers, and Ming has got nothing on DauT right here. DauT seems like he's just come from nowhere and taken this game. It's looking so good for him right now. Ming trying to put another castle up, but there's no way that castle is going to go up with that amount of plumed archers there. DauT is just going to clean this up in a matter of seconds. And of course, with the siege rams in the middle, the elite skirmishers are pretty much ineffective as they're trying to attack the rams and not the plumed archers. And DauT moves forwards with even more trebuchets, starting to take out everything that Ming holds dear, and he's just spent the last 30 minutes building up. And it looks like DauT's even going to get into his wood line here, and Ming's going to lose too many villagers to come back from this. DauT population capped on 199, Ming on 160, and falling rapidly as these villagers are getting absolutely massacred. He's not got enough skirmishes. He's simply not got enough. DauT now, population caps, of course. He's just going to be able to replenish his army as soon as it gets killed off, and even these skirmishes in the back, not going to be able to do enough against the plumed archers from DauT, which are now elite, fully upgraded, and Ming resigns. Absolutely storming game from DauT there, just busting out of his base and just almost perfection coming out of there. Incredible from him. Ming did not stand a chance, kind of beaten at his own strategy there, and that was one of the shortest Mayan wars of the GML, I think. And yeah, so a very nice game for DauT, making it 1-0 in this series versus Ming, and I'm going to be bringing you the next game straight away, so stay tuned. That will be coming up right now.